This is Hollywood Dan at Jack Rabbits Barbers. Congratulations to Beardbrand and 1 million subscribers. Well done all. This today is Adam, my client, and he's going to explain to me what it is you'd like to have done today.
So the beard, like normal, just sort of there, trimmed back, and on the bit moustache.
Yeah.
Put that back and sort of keeping the length-ish as it was. And then the hair, sort of, I don't know, like 1, maybe 2 on the sides, and kind of keeping it, trying to grow the length back a little bit on top, I think, just kind of.
So you're liking the length on top at the minute then, you don't want to go too crazy short on the sides. Do you want to kind of, instead of we were going quite high and tight last time, do you want to keep a bit of structure in around the pinnacle areas around here? Because before we were really undercutting it, but maybe keep it a little bit more blended in, but really choppy and messy up on top. Do you ever, what are you doing when you start?
I'm like on the front, I'm kind of bringing it back a little bit, whilst everything else is kind of like across.
Across, okay. Do you prefer to wear it more flat and across, or do you prefer to wear it more like
Depends what mood I'm in, mate.
Yeah, so a bit of both. If you've got something that you can work with where you can slick it, that should be fine anyway, we can work with that. We just need to make sure we take out this bulky area that gathers around this part, because that will start gathering, so we'll blend that in nicely. Only going down to a grade 1-ish on the very bottom, into grade 2, and then a hand cut around the pinnacle areas. Looking all good, it's just really overgrown. The beard as well, do you want to keep it a bit more square, or do you like it to be more round around here?
Whatever looks better, mate,
As long as that little bit there that you don't like feels stronger, because actually it's got a bit of a swirl. The decent way of being able to get rid of that swirl is to be blow drying it or straightening it with a few more minutes in the morning, but not everyone's got that, so we'll make sure it's taken up a little bit higher so it feels stronger. You don't have to do so much work to it in the morning. And then taper these sides in as well and blend it into the haircut. Nice, let's get started. As ever, we're just going to start with a grade. I've chosen a 1.5 grade open, and we're just going to go up to the pinnacle areas, creating a nice bit of a line to work from. Get rid of all the bulk around his head. I've now just put on the grade 1 and opened it up, and I'm just dropping down a little bit lower to the line that I created earlier, just so I can get a bit of a nice taper towards the back of his neck, because he wants it down to a grade 1, but I'm not just going to go grade 1, that's it. I want to just blend it out nicely with the halves. This is just me trimming up around the edges. Most of the time I blend all this out as well, so there's not too many harsh lines. I always prefer the softer approach, not to say it's the right approach, just my approach I like, on the very bottom of the neck. But this is just me putting in my etching lines with the trimmer. Let's get rid of all the hair around his ears and his neck. So I've just switched again to another grade as a 0.5. Opened it up, and I'm going to close it down just to taper out the bottom neckline, just to blend it all into the neck rather than it being too liney and too square. I'm going down with my clippers and a little bit of up, shifting the lever and stretching the skin out a little bit as well with my other finger. Okay, so Ad has come back. He's all nice and washed, shampooed out, hat hair is gone, and I'm just putting in some very basic cutting guides for me. We're keeping the top longer, so I'm separating that up. I just want to cut the sides down a little bit more. Different ways you can do this. Some people clip over and comb it before it's washed. I like to just scissor cut a lot of my haircuts. So I'm going to go in and scissor cut instead of clip over comb it. And we just need to make sure that it's nice and wet, so tension is super good. Start with this side. I agree this might be a longer route around doing it. You might have seen me do this before, and it's just taking sections, picking it up, and bring my fingers out to cut around the pinnacle of his head using my guide that I've just created to then cut the rest of it. Why do I not clip over comb? I was taught by my amazing barber mentor more scissor work, and I just like the precision that it gives me and the old school feel using shears instead of clippers. Not to say I won't then afterwards go in and clip or overcome a little bit, but just initially just got in a routine of doing it this way. Each their own, right? Dan on the road. Hey, if you change it, there's no royalty fees then, is there? And then we're keeping the crown in, not taking the crown out. I'm pulling out a little bit more. I'm not going really close to the crown, I'm just coming in, pulling it out and down. So how does it feel having 1 million subscribers on YouTube?
That's good.
Pretty cool, huh?
Hard work pays off.
That's it. I appreciate being a part of it. It's been good fun being a part of that as well. Just you coming in.
Yeah, man.
Don't want to take too much off. I'm just taking the ends. Likes to keep it a bit longer. Working through this mohawk section to get my guide in there. Keeping it slightly longer, still at the front. Oh, it's actually a bit short at the front there. Don't be cutting any of that. Take some corners off. Does that have a big exhaust on it as well? Does it make a big noise, big rumble?
That would be awesome. But they only like it silent. So they approach you and knock you down without you even realizing.
Just soften out and blend in from my hand cut to my clipper cut.
It's getting darker and darker outside. You are a weird man.
So as I'm coming up with the scissor over comb here, I'm actually coming out as well. So come in and then coming out towards the top. So I'm not going all the way high up to the top because I want to have a bit of structure to the pinnacle area. So I'm quite against his head on the very bottom bit where the clipper is, and then as I'm coming up, rolling out. Same thing you do with clipper. If you did it with clipper over comb, you'd come up in there and then come out like a C motion, arc, however you want to call it. So first things first, all I want to do is give it a good brush out. Just want to see where it's at, what structure it's at. A lot of the time when it comes to beard, like the hair, it's all about the styling as well. So people forget that they need to brush your beards. You need to use a hairdryer if you've got a long or big beard, just to keep it all in check. If you're not lucky enough for it to all just sit naturally where it wants to, but so I know which areas I want to work on. I work on the sides. I want to get some of the length taken out of here. Definitely clean the tash up and then etch and line it all up around his cheek lines. This bit in the middle here just sticks out. If that gets too long, it's just going to start coming out, so we'll probably just take that end slightly as well. But first, I'm going to just take my first line right in the middle. You can feel where his chin is, it's just there. So he's got a long beard here. And no one's face is symmetrical as well, so even before I cut, you can see this side sits slightly different to this side, so we just need to make everything as symmetrical as we can. So going to go in nice and straight and just cut in my first base at the bottom of his chin. Now, every time you cut a beard and you brush it, you're always going to get these extra little bits that come out of somewhere. And that's why I like to use a hot towel when I do a beard, so it just cleans it all out, and I can really blow dry it and see if there's any graduation, any extra bits that are sticking out, and get a better shape in there. And then after I've done that, I'm going to come to the sides. So I push it all back, and I want to get a line in here, and I push it all down, and I want to get a line in here. Now the way we work is that we'll put the line in here, and whatever line we put in here almost needs to match what we're creating, not matches in the curve here, but we want to make it nice and strong. So I'm looking above here, where his line is here, and I'm going to mimic that down the bottom here. So just initially I'm going to put in this line here, and this might change in a bit. This is just my bulk phase of getting it all off. Have you had many people talking to you about the cutting combs you can get for yourself? Like the cutting guides, sorry. They're quite interesting.
I've never tried it.
No, I've not tried it.
And I wouldn't anyway.
No.
I like to go to the barbers now.
That's
I have
it.
more experience with the barber shop.
That is it. Stop there, that's that side for now. Dust him off so he's not itching. And then same this side. This side you can see is much thicker, much more dense. It's totally different to the other side. Once I think I'm quite happy with that first bulk section, I dust him off and just have a look in the mirror. I will just say, Adam, slightly, very carefully in your head up, don't strain it. That's what I'm going to start looking at now, the shape that I've created and what I've got. It's looking alright, but we've still got these bulky areas around the bottom here. So the way I like to tackle that is a couple of ways you can do it. You can put a guard on your clippers. I just like to initially just go down, so freehanding, no my clippers. I'm just gonna take off a bit of extra bulk. You can put a guard on, like a number 1 or a 0.5, just to be on the safer side. I've done Adsby a fair few times, feeling quite confident today. I've only had 1 or 2 coffees, I'm not shaking too much, so I'm just carefully freehanding.
Only 1 or 2 coffees, but about 10 minutes.
And I come behind him just because I can see the shape a little bit better from directly down, like a bird's eye view. I can see where I'm going. And then once I've got a little bit, I'll come back in, I'll check from a different angle, and start seeing other areas. And then I'll basically just got to hit it from different areas. This other side isn't as thick and isn't as unruly as that, his right hand side, so I'm not going to be taking too much off of this. But I'm just still doing the same technique, and I probably will in a minute actually put a guard on and do the same thing. It might not even be that I'm taking much off. I'll put on a grade 1. So I want to blend this into his haircut, and his haircut's a grade 1 at the very bottom. Just using my comb, I've opened it up initially, and I'm just going to take off a bit of this top line. And then we're going to close it and do the same technique, put it down. Now, everybody's beard is so different, and you're going to have to use a mixture of different techniques for everybody's beard. It's not just one technique for all beards. The way I cut Ad's beard, I'll probably cut someone else, one of my other clients' beards slightly differently. Or what you're taking off and what you're leaving on, it will be slightly different with everyone's beard, because some people won't be as full as this and won't have as much as this. So you just got to alter the way you do it. One technique I like to use is just with my comb. Now at the minute, you see I've not touched anything at the very front around here. It's just because I'm working section by section, working and focus on the sides initially, and then I'm going to go into the middle. Now with this middle section, there's the different ways you can do it. You can try and tackle it and get in there with your scissors or your clipper or the comb. A lot of people don't like to ask their clients for help, especially when I was doing around the ears or getting to pull funny faces, but I just think to get a cleaner cut, I don't mind getting a bit of client participation in there. Andy, you okay, a bit of client participation? So this is the bit where you stick your tongue in the bottom of his lip. So if he just sticks his tongue in the bottom of the lip, what it does is protrudes that out a lot cleaner for me to actually see this big area sticking out. And I'll just go in with my comb and my clipper and I can just hack that down slightly. Of course there's ways of doing it without client participation, but I like the faces that people pull. And just relax that again from there. Lovely. So as he's relaxed that now, it's just going to start creating a bit more shape. Now, some people might not like the fact that you take that bit out. Some people might like it if it's longer, but Adam's been a long-term client of mine, so we've worked together a few different ways, and we just think this is the better way to get more shape. His beard grows at a crazy rate, so just by taking that middle bit out, it just means that there's less hair around there for his food to get stuck in, and it doesn't sit down when it grows out long. That's not to say that I do every client like that. Some people I'll leave that section in. But knowing your client. Also, I've had a few guys come down from that have seen Beardbrand and come into Jack Rabbits, so thanks for popping down and seeing us and checking us out. Some guys travel a bit further than where we're based, but appreciate the effort made to come down and see us. So again, I'm just freehanding his tash, a little bit of comb as well. Is that okay, temperature? Yes. Gonna wrap him up, really get it nice and warm under there. It's just nice and relaxing, but it's gonna help just wash his beard out slightly before I do the shave. Popping on a nice shave gel, smells fantastic. Up to my blade, just glide over the skin. Let's start with the more sensitive areas, so more crowd participation please. Ad, could you just pop that, it's lovely, stretch that skin right out. All I want to do is just get a couple of these little stragglers from his nose to his tash cleaned up. I'm doing it first whilst my blade is nice and sharp, because otherwise it's going to start to pull. If I do the rest of the shave first, come to this last. What blades do people use out there as well? I'm quite interested in what people are using at home, because some people use cutthroats, especially you beard purists love using cutthroats, but at home I just use one of those butterfly shavettes, and they're really nice, like a safety razor but straight edge still. I'm just going to dry his beard all out. You put a little bit of product in before if you like. Just going to keep it natural for now. And just blow drying it all down, all nice and straight, all out. Just getting all the moisture from the towels out of his beard. See his beard's quite dry as well, so we're going to pop a bit of oil in it. A bit of beard oil. Probably a bit of beard balm before going around with a little bit of scissors to really refine that and get any other areas. So I like to think of the oil as more for the skin underneath the beard to just help keep our natural skin oils replenished, I guess. And then the beard balm I see is like a styling product. It's going to help keep the flyaways at bay, along with maybe a bit of hair product or a bit of hairspray if you want to, if you have lots of flyaways. Otherwise, the beard balm is sufficient enough. It's a good moisturiser. I'm just going to brush it with a hard bristle brush. Really get into that skin. And then I want to get my scissors and I'm just going to refine areas around the beard that's slightly longer, that might have missed. I just think this side is a little bit longer still. There's a little bit of graduation just there. I think I'm going to lean him back up into the mirror so I can really just check the shape, check the lines. So this is where he's actually going to be laying down all the time, so this is where I can see what it's like from a normal position. A little bit of soft wax in the nose just to get rid of those unsightly ones that are kicking out bottom.
Yeah, I get that threaded too.
Same as waxing though, threading really. No? You don't think so?
No, I didn't wax before. Not the same.
Not the same. Well, it gets it from the root. So
Yeah,
the wax and the threading both pick up the hair from the root, which is ideally what you want. You don't want to just be shaving it and cutting it down, you want to be taking it out. Further threading. It's really slow-mo. There's that. Get the other side as well. Product in my hands, and I'm just going to go through, feeding my fingers through the root, back into the sides. So always get the style that you want. You just need to blow dry your hair into the style first. It makes the job a lot easier when you put the products on there because it's already in the position. It's just about getting rid of the fluffiness from the clean hair. Just combing all that product through. Wants to keep the back area a little bit flat and then bring that fringe up and round. Just to recap in what we've done, I've done a grade 1 on the very bottom, but blending that up into a bit of a hand cut around the pinnacle area, taking a tiny bit of length off the top but not too much because you don't want a lot of the length removed on top. Creating a nice strong fringe, blending it into the beard and just giving it a nice strong shape to the jawline on the bottom of the beard, keeping it where the strong point ends. So we're taking off quite a bit of the beard today, but it's going to just feel a lot nicer and easier when you eat because we're taking off around here as well and clean up the tash line. We've done your eyebrows, we've done your nose, feeling fresh again. All good, Barry?
Yeah, good stuff.
Nice. You're welcome.
Thanks for watching this video. Beardbrand has launched a private community called The Alliance. It's for men who are looking to invest in themselves and who are looking to keep on growing. Click the link over there and come join us, or stick around and watch some more awesome videos.